So Adam Schefter decided to scare everybody who even remotely cares about the NFL and the NFL draft with this breaking news on Abdul Carter, the potential number 1 overall pick. Abdul Carter has a stress reaction in his right foot, and the Penn State standout will need to decide soon whether to have surgery or not. That was yesterday at 11:34 p.m. The 26th is now the 27th. There are mixed opinions on whether he needs surgery, and we will figure that out in the near future. That is his agent talking for Abdul Carter. And everyone's like, oh my gosh, he's trying to fall to the Eagles. He's faking the injury. He's doing it. But now doctors told, this morning, doctors told Penn State defensive end and protected the number 1 overall pick, Abdul Carter, that after further scans on his right foot, surgery is not advisable, and he will work out at his pro day March 28th at Penn State. I couldn't be more confident that this will be a non-factor where he's drafted. Drew Rosenhaus is his agent. He has to say that. But will this affect his draft stock, right? We're looking at it, and I decided to do my due diligence. A stress reaction in the foot refers to a bone injury caused by repetitive stress, which is an NFL player. He is constantly on his feet. He is constantly moving, constantly engaging in blocks, constantly moving laterally. So his feet are probably torn to shreds, where the bone begins to weaken and become inflamed without a full fracture occurring. So basically, his foot swells up, becomes inflamed, and it hurts, right? Can this be, something that persists in the future? Well, I decided to look that up. Yes, it can. It can come back if the underlying causes aren't addressed, meaning if you don't properly rest and modify your activity level after experiencing a stress reaction, you could potentially develop another one in the same area, especially if you return to the same high-impact activities too quickly. If you don't allow the bone to fully heal, it could become susceptible to another stress reaction, meaning that potentially this could be a problem moving forward for Abdul Carter. I'm not saying he's injury prone because I don't believe that, and he hasn't shown that he is. But, you only have a week of rest in between games, sometimes only 3 days in between games. This could be a problem. It could be a problem. Now, I don't think it will be a problem. I think he'll get the proper treatment from the proper doctors, right? I don't think Abdul Carter, it's going to be a problem whether he can stay on the field. But does this give the Tennessee Titans pause for taking him number 1 overall, right? Because quarterback class, not great. You have 2, I believe, really great talents sitting there for you to take at number 1 in Travis Hunter and Abdul Carter. The narrative or the story, I guess, or what we're projecting now in the ethos is Abdul Carter number 1. Abdul Carter is the best player in the draft, right? Abdul Carter is the guy who the Tennessee Titans are taking. Weak quarterback class. They don't want Shador. They don't want Cam. They're going to take the best player available and go Abdul Carter at a premium position as well at edge. But with this potential, injury scare, he doesn't need surgery, but he definitely needs to rest. Does this give the Tennessee Titans just a little bit of pause? Just a little bit. And just a little bit of pause could push them out of taking Abdul Carter. And in this scenario, which I'm going to mock, they take Travis Hunter. Let's say they decide, you know what? We want the guy who played wide receiver and cornerback at college. We want a guy to help us at wide receiver. We want a guy to help us at corner. Boom. They take Travis Hunter. Now the Browns are like, okay, we thought you guys were going to take Abdul Carter. We didn't think he was going to be here. Now they're thinking, okay, now we got to retool. We got to revamp because we were projecting on taking Cam Ward. We were projecting on taking either Travis Hunter as well. Now Abdul Carter's on the board. Does he slip to 2? Right? And if the Browns are dead set, let's say they're dead set on taking a quarterback and they take Cam Ward. Now the Giants are on the clock with oh my gosh, we did not think Abdul Carter would be here. Do they pull the trigger? Do they take the risk of Abdul Carter and but say, you know what, he's going to be healthy, he's going to be fine. The Titans lost out and the Browns lost out. Or do they just draft Shedeur Sanders? Do they just take Shedeur? They could just take a quarterback. And now that leaves, right? Let's say they take a quarterback. Let's say he just keeps sliding. Abdul Carter just keeps sliding and sliding and sliding. Now the Patriots at 4 are like, oh my gosh, Abdul Carter's right here. Best player available. Boom. They take him. Oh my gosh, the Jags would take him in a heartbeat. Of course they would. The Raiders would take him in a heartbeat, right? I feel like if he drops below 3, he's not leaving number 4 without getting selected, and he's not leaving number 5 without getting selected, right? That's just what's happening. He's the best player available. You take the best player available, especially when Abdul Carter. But the injury risk of Abdul Carter with a stress reaction in his right foot, can it be a problem, right? The fact that they even had to have a conversation about whether to have surgery is a cause for concern and is a cause for potentially the Titans to move up and take Travis Hunter, right? It's just something to look at. And, you know, guys like this happen all the time with injuries. They are like a top 10 talent, top 5 talent, and then they just somehow, some way just slide all the way down to like 20, 30, right? Then they don't get picked at their true value, right? The same could happen with Abdul Carter. The same could happen. Now, I'm not saying it will. In my personal opinion, I think he'll be fine. I think he'll be a great player. And I think he'll probably go number 1 overall. This is a weak quarterback class. Travis Hunter is right behind him, in my opinion. Although you could make an argument to me that Travis Hunter is the more overall better player. He just doesn't play that premium position, that tackle, that edge, and that QB to maybe warrant getting selected number 1 overall. Like an Abdul Carter, who's at a premium position and is really good. But does now Tennessee get the cause for concern? Does Tennessee move back to maybe a 3 or a 4, right? Do they move back and potentially say, you know what? Abdul Carter's going to fall. We're not going to take him. Let's get draft capital. Let the Giants move up to 1, potentially take Campbell, potentially take a Travis Hunter, right? This ultimately could happen. And it's going to be a big night on NFL draft night just to, you know, potentially see, you know, how this injury affects Abdul Carter moving forward, right? And just like his agent, I have the utmost confidence that he'll be a great player, that he'll, you know, just get past this. This is just another rock in the road. He'll just go over it. He'll be fine. But what if he doesn't, right? Then that's what teams are banking on. That's what teams are thinking about now. Well, what if he doesn't come back all good, and then this just becomes a lingering problem, and he can't play as well because he has stress reactions in his foot, and now all of a sudden, he's not on the field. Now all of a sudden, he has a broken toe. Now all of a sudden, he has foot pain that lingers throughout the entire season. This could potentially break into a bigger issue if the Titans are just a little bit scared and don't feel like he's worth it. And now Abdul Carter is now not at 1 or 2 or 3. He's potentially at 4, 5, 6, 7, or 8. You know, other teams could get scared too, right? The Giants could get scared. The Raiders could get scared. The Jets could get scared. The Panthers could get scared. Even though I think that the talent warrants you to be able to take them, right? I think the Saints would bite on that immediately. I think the Bears would bite on it immediately, right? Anybody outside of the top 5 is biting on Abdul Carter immediately. That's what I feel. So we'll see on draft night. Abdul Carter, hopefully everything works out okay. He won't need surgery, so that's really good. That's a positive. And we'll see, you know, moving forward. Does this really affect his draft stock? Now there's going to be a lot of eyes on the pro day, right? We're going to see how he moves laterally. We're going to see how he moves in space. We're going to see how he is able to bend and get around potential tackles in the NFL, and, you know, at a level that's very high, right? So we'll see. Abdul Carter, you know, I hope everything goes well. And that has been my take. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you guys. And eat your carrots. I was eating my carrots. I had to re-record this video because I didn't have my microphone on. But now I've recorded it. This is the final version, I promise. So shout out to Abdul Carter. I will see you guys in the next video. Take it easy. Peace.